Hello, everyone. Derek Loudermilk here with Aoife Gaffney, and let's see. We'll put our names up on the broadcast. There we go. And Aoife is another one of the co-authors of Activate Your Life. We've interviewed a couple so far today. We'll be interviewing several more over the next couple of days as we promote the book, which, if you're watching, you can go to Amazon and download your copy. Tuesday is the best day for you to do that. That's our official launch day. You can also buy the paperback. And Aoife wrote a chapter about prosperity and shifting your money mindset. So that's what we're going to talk about, broadly speaking. But let me give you a chance to introduce yourself and where are you joining us from? And let's see, Aoife, it looks like we've lost you there. Okay,
no,
now you're back.
It's all right. It's anyway, these things happen. So where I live in Ireland.
Brilliant.
I live in County Kildare in Ireland, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place with a dreadful internet connection. So apologies if that drops again. Anyway, these things happen when you live in the sticks. So I'm Irish. And I live in a beautiful, beautiful part of Ireland in Kildare with my lovely son, who's stashed in the cupboard for the duration of this interview.
That's pretty hilarious. So far we've interviewed an Italian living in Switzerland. We've got a New Yorker living in Florida, and an Irish woman living in Ireland. So you're the one that you haven't fled the country yet.
No, not yet, because Ireland is the best country in the world if they would just put a roof on it. It is. It's the best place. It's the nicest place. It's the nicest people.
What's your favorite thing about
scenery, Ireland? With incredible opportunities and very efficient tax laws.
And what is your favorite thing about Ireland?
So your sound just dropped there, Derek. I didn't hear the question.
Your favorite thing about Ireland?
My favorite thing, I think, has to be the scenery. It's incredibly picturesque, very, very, very beautiful, and very diverse. Like, as a tiny country, it's a blot on the landscape, but incredibly diverse.
Brilliant. Yeah, I remember it just being ridiculously green, almost kind of like a joke. Like, how is it possible that it's so green there?
Because it never stopped raining.
There you go. So let's talk a little bit about your chapter in the book. It's called Prosperity Consciousness: Shift Your Money Blocks and Upgrade Your Mindset. What's this all about?
It's all about money, my favorite subject. So money is energy, and money is often a representation of how we think about ourselves, particularly women. Women have a tendency to put themselves last. So women have a tendency to talk themselves out of things, to keep themselves small, me included. Sometimes we often undervalue ourselves. So the exercise is not necessarily for women, but I work predominantly with women. But it's about figuring out what's important in your life, what makes you feel incredibly abundant and prosperous, anchoring in those feelings into your daily life and using those to manifest more abundance, prosperity, and joy.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the basic terms here. What is abundance and scarcity and manifesting?
Well, abundance simply means a lot of. There could be an abundance of anything. Could be abundance doesn't necessarily have to relate to money, but money is my area of expertise. So I will be using abundance in this case to talk about money and the things that you would like to bring about, so to manifest into your life. And I talk a lot about the prosperity mindset as opposed to the scarcity mindset. And these terms were quite new to me a couple of years ago. So to explain it, I'll maybe just give you a little analogy. Let's say it's a nice day in Ireland, so a nice day in Ireland is it's not raining. That's a good day. And I think, it's a nice day. It's not raining. I have time on my hands, and I need to go from point A to point B. And I say, it's a nice day. I can take the bus. Or I could walk because I have some time. It's a nice day. I could do with the exercise and I could do with the headspace. So I still get to, because the traffic is so dreadful, so I still get to my destination when I was supposed to get there. If I walk from a place of abundance, so I'm going to walk because it's nice and I'll get the exercise and I can listen to a podcast and I can listen to something else, and it's great when I arrive, I feel refreshed and my mind is clear. But if I said, and I happen as an upside to that, I just happen to save the bus fare. If my motivation was, oh God, I cannot afford the bus fare. Things are so tight at the moment. I think I'll walk. Every single step I took would have just put me into a worse and worse mood. So by the time I arrived at wherever I was trying to go, I'd be in such a foul mood about I couldn't even afford this and I couldn't even afford that. And so those would be the messages that would be going through my mind. So while the end result is the same, the end result is exactly the same, my mindset was completely different. So when you make your choices and make your decisions from a place of prosperity consciousness, even though you might achieve the same thing, your mindset is very, very, very different. So, and scarcity is turning off all the lights in your house so somebody falls down the stairs and breaks a hip. Well, the simple solution to that is just buy an energy efficient light bulb, and then you can have the lights on all the time, and everybody's happy. So it's and scarcity consciousness is almost something that is inherent, particularly in Irish people, I think, because we have a history of kind of being squashed and being kept small. And we had, as most countries did, had quite a dramatic economic crisis, and we're starting to come out of that. But up until recently, people didn't know that the word austerity and scarcity didn't exist in our vocabulary. And so it's when those mindsets sneak in and people start being frugal as opposed to being prudent, it sometimes can be quite difficult to shift those mindsets. So, being frugal is really being kind of cheap and being mean and making decisions from a scarcity point of view, but being prudent, and hence I use the brand Prudence Money Penny Coaching. So being prudent is making far more strategic decisions that you can leverage, and they're coming from a place of abundance and prosperity. And I hope that makes sense, but it was much, much clearer in the book.
So between prudence and frugality, is it easy to tell? Like if someone's saying, "Oh, you're just being frugal," and you thought, "Oh, I was just being prudent," how do you know who's accurate there?
Well, I don't think there's any right or wrong. I think sometimes you have to ask yourself the question, how does this make me feel? And it's often not down to the cost of something. It's not down to where you buy it. It's not down. There are lots of other factors that if you strip them out, I ask myself sometimes the question, how does this make me feel? And really that is a question that you sometimes need to ask yourself numerous times, because in general we are actually very good at lying to ourselves predominantly. So just always ask yourself the question. It doesn't matter if you're cleaning out your cupboard, or you're going to buy a new pair of socks, or you're going to buy a new car. Ask yourself, how does this make me feel?
And so like in the story about the walk, if it makes you feel good during the walk, then yes, that's a prosperity place. Or if it makes you feel good to buy something, then you should buy it. So what about
within reason? Obviously, absolutely. Because it's not about, gosh, I'd really love to drive a Jag XF, which I would, by the way, in Burgundy, with a cream leather interior. At the moment, it is not currently in my spending plan. So even that language, I haven't said I can't afford it. That's too expensive. That's not for the likes of me. I just said, okay, it's on my vision board. It is just currently not in my personal spending plan, which the message that I've told myself is that situation will change.
Gotcha. Okay. So, as you were talking about this, I was envisioning my college roommate who he would always go, he would know exactly when the grocery stores were giving out free samples. And he would not, we'd go out to dinner and he would eat beforehand, and then not buy anything, but still come with us because he wanted to enjoy our company and all these things. And he was, we were like, oh, he's just known for being cheap. And then he bought this amazing house in New York City that's is like the first guy to buy this big epic house. And we're like, how did you do that? It's, not eating at restaurants. Amazing how he did that. So I'm wondering, that he was saving towards this thing, or did he cut out because he wasn't able to eat meals with us? So it's kind of an interesting, could go either way, probably.
It could. It could. And again, you have to ask yourself the question, because it's not about other people. But you ask yourself the question, how does this make me feel? And when you spend in alignment with your goals and values, and we identify those through money coaching, then everything you do is in congruence with what you're trying to achieve. So for that chap, clearly buying a property was really important to him, but also spending time with his friends was important as well. And so okay, and it might have been the running joke, but I'd be interesting to talk to him actually and ask him, how did that make him feel? Because it's not about other people.
Yeah, interesting. So let's say you in your chapter you're talking about the possessions and how they make you feel.
Yes.
How does that relate to, let's say, making more money in your business or your career?
It's about putting yourself first. So I say to my clients, do three things: pay yourself first, put yourself first, and love yourself first. So it is about prioritizing. But it's also about anchoring in those feelings of abundance. And the exercise goes through kind of almost doing like a health check, maybe, of the things that you surround yourself with, and even the people you surround yourself with, because we are the measure of the people that we spend most time with. And so if you have this sort of ratty-tatty, dilapidated, about to fall apart, whatever it is, and every time you use it, it annoys you, seems like it's broken, it doesn't work, or it's a pair of socks that have a hole in them, and every time you wear them you go, oh, these flipping socks, they have a hole in them and they really annoy me. You're not going to feel good about yourself. You're not going to feel that you're valuing yourself. You're not going to feel that you're putting yourself first. So when you start prioritizing and say, well, I'm worth more. And it's also about surrounding yourself with things and people that enhance you, inspire you, and lift you up and make you feel good.
And so, one part of this I've heard is like, oh, you have to, just if you're operating on a prosperity mindset, then go ahead and invest in yourself, or go ahead and buy the things you want, and then that will like open the doors to money flowing in. It's kind of hard to take that leap necessarily. You have to like really expect money will come, but then you actually have to go out and get more money. It's sort of like a leap of faith, or am I wrong on that?
There is a bit of a leap of faith in it, and it does sound ridiculous, and it's not about right, if I sit at home and just visualize my socks off, all this money is going to come zooming through my letterbox. At some point you have to take action, but the action has to come from the right place. So there are two parts to it. At some point you have to figure out what it is that you want. Then you say, right, how can I put myself first, pay myself first, love myself first? And then you say, right, what inspired action can I take today that comes from a place of from the place of the prosperity mindset? So nothing will happen until you actually physically get off your chair and do your own press-ups. I mean, even Arnold Schwarzenegger has to do his own heavy lifting. So I can visualize until the cows come home. But at some point, I do have to take action. But that action, when I get my mindset right, so when my mindset is in a place of prosperity and I'm very clear about what it is that I want, and whether it's a physical thing or a feeling or it's an opportunity, I've spent a bit of time figuring out what it is that I want, how it's going to make me feel, anchor the living daylights out of those feelings. Then the action that I take is coming from a different place, and I will present myself differently. Oh, bless you. So I'll present myself differently, I'll come across differently. And when you're focused on something, then you're seeing those opportunities or those physical objects everywhere. It's not that they weren't there in the first place, but it's your mind is open. And now I can't stop seeing Jag XFs in burgundy with cream leather interior. They were always there. I just wasn't aware of them. And and opportunities are now opening themselves up to me that I were always there. I just never noticed.
Opportunities to acquire that vehicle.
Lots and lots of opportunities for me to do lots of different things, including an opportunity because a year ago I was sitting at home thinking, I think I'd kind of fancy writing a book, and well, there was a bit more to it than that. So it's okay, how am I going to go about it? And I thought, anchor in those feelings of prosperity. I thought, what can a book do for me? And all of the incredible benefits and experiences, and then an opportunity presented itself to me to co-author a book, which was an incredible experience, absolutely amazing experience.
And you're talking about Activate Your Life.
I am indeed, goodness sake, and it may happen. It just so happens to be launching tomorrow. Fancy that. But at some point, first of all, I had to figure out what it is. What is it that I want to do? So I got a present of. I don't know if you can see that biro. It's my son gave me this beautiful Swarovski pen. I may have engineered the gift. I may have dropped some hints. So I thought a writer needs a really, really nice pen. So I think it was Mother's Day or it was my birthday or something, and I may have dropped like massive hints because purple is my favorite color and it's sparkly. So a writer needs a really, really good pen. So every time I pick up this pen, I just feel incredible, and I feel that this pen inspires me. And so when I'm writing, sometimes I'm handwriting or doodling, I just feel amazing when I'm holding that pen because it's my favorite pen in the whole world and nobody else is allowed to touch it. And so I use that, to write my affirmations and to write my notes and to bring about an opportunity to co-author a book, because I said, this is something I want to do. And, writing it at some point I had to, get off my chair. At some point I had to put pen to paper, and then I had to turn that pen into keystrokes.
That's so great. It's like, I have my pen here, and pen, like when you see someone else with the same pen as you, it's like almost never happens, but when you do it and you're like, ooh, that person gets it. This is a Uniball Vision Elite 0.5, and I know a lot of people like the 0.7, but this one's great. You can take it on a plane and it won't explode. So if you look at people who are writing, business travelers in business class, they may have this pen. So you can, I don't know anyone that has a purple Swarovski pen.
It's a purple Swarovski pen, and it sparkles. So
is it diamond encrusted? Just a bunch of little diamonds in there.
It has the Swarovski crystals in it. So, and because it comes in different colors, but I've never seen anybody else with a purple one, and so that's how I know that if you dared to even try and pinch it, I'd know it was mine. And I think the whole pen thing, writers get the pen thing and they get the notebook. You have to have it here. You have to have the special notebook.
Oh wow!
Exactly.
What is that? Beautiful. A goddess of some kind on there?
It's a goddess, and it's it's purple, and it has lovely butterflies on it. And so these are the things that I use. That when I'm using my favorite notebook and my favorite pen, that they weren't expensive is a relative word. They fitted my personal spending plan, but they just make me feel amazing. I thought, I'm a writer, so I need to act like a writer. And when I'm using these things, I do feel amazing. I feel incredibly prosperous. I feel abundant, and it also helps me anchor in those feelings.
So I have one more question about couples and spending, and sort of obviously they each value prosperity slightly different, or different things make them feel prosperous. So how do you have any recommendations on that conversation around a spending plan that incorporates more than just one person?
Yeah, I mean, couples, it's a challenging thing, and people often say, "Oh gosh, love goes out the love goes out the window when the bills come in the door." I think, well, it is a difficult subject, and I do work with couples, and it's okay to be different, because if we were all the same, life would be very dull. And sometimes the difficulties arise when one person is the income generator and the other person is the homemaker or primary caregiver, and so sometimes that dynamic can get a bit muddled. But everything comes down to communication, and the whole, sometimes the money conversations can be very difficult, because the scary words to say to a man are, "We need to talk," and there's a man-shaped hole in the wall. And so through money coaching, I just take a lot of the heat out of those money conversations. So the conversations are, talking about money is the same as pass the salt. What would you like, tea or coffee? And it is just about talking. And we have very, very simple strategies and techniques, particularly with couples, or if you're working with children. I think when you instill very good money habits and beliefs into children, then they turn into adults who hopefully then will marry and live happily ever after. So it's really just about kind of breaking those cycles. So the conversations are really short. I have really super simple openers. Again, I work predominantly with women, because men just don't seem to find me funny. So they're very, very simple strategies. And it's about not only couples, but about families as well, and taking a lot of the heat out of those conversations and just getting everybody on the same page. And I think when you're with the right person, you're generally, well, he likes blue and I like pink, but generally your values are similar. So everything really comes down to values.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Well, Eva, thanks so much for taking us through your some of your work. Where's the best place for people to find out more about you online?
Well, I use the brand name Prudence Moneypenny. So the website is prudencemoneypenny.com. And there is a rather nice photograph of me there for a change, without my hair sticking up and sticking out. So you can drop me a line at any point at askpru@prudencemoneypenny.com. So just remember, I am in the GMT time zone, but I do occasionally stick cocktail sticks in my eyes and will stay up late to chat to somebody from the States.
And thank you so much, because I know it's probably already after dark for you there. So thanks for sticking around to join me here in North America time. And for everyone that's interested in checking out Aoife's chapter, that's on page 147, I believe, of Activate Your Life. So everyone go and download your copy on Amazon on the Kindle store for free tomorrow. There's a link in up here or down below for you guys to do that. And Aoife, thanks so much for joining us.
Great to chat to you, Derek. Talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.